my friends, to finding calm in the chaos. I am Denise Sick, and this is my podcast. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Denise here, and you are listening to another episode of Finding Calm in the Chaos. Woo! Okay, so we apparently are having really good audio in the closet studio. I am currently sitting in my master closet on a folding chair with my step stool as my desk, and I'm just going with it. I'm going with it because what I have been finding out is that the more I am not letting go, the worse it's getting. So I'm trying to cleanse all the energy. I saged my whole house again. And we are going to talk today about something that I started studying. I'm not sleeping again. Surprise, surprise. And because I'm not sleeping, I am flaring and the lupus is being naughty. So I have decided that I am going to try pretty much anything at this point. But since I'm so good, I stink at meditation, but I'm super good at visualization. Because to me, it is literally, I mean, come on guys, it's like to me, visualization is like a daydream that you're allowed to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. So today I'm going to talk about centering, and there's actually tons of stuff out there, and people have been practicing centering for quite some time, but there is an actual technique. We talk about, finding our center and doing all this stuff, but there is a legit technique and science to this. And I'm probably not going to go into the science so much because I don't want to run 8 hours. And I'm trying to make these under 30 minutes, guys, and trying to get it going so we can move on with our lives. But at the same time, learn something and share and helps me vent. And you guys are therapy for me. I'm not going to lie. And I feel like it's useful. And it helps contribute to other people who may be in the same situation. I mean, I don't think people's parents have moved in and it's flipping them out. If that happened, I'm sorry. You pretty much need this episode like I do. But everyone is overwhelmed, right? Because when's the last time you felt stressed or anxious? Okay, me, I'm anxious. I don't know. It's my newest thing. I'm anxious about everything. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. This whole new homeschool co-op, 3 days a week, 3 different class, organizations. So little groups. So we're going to 3 different places, 3 different days, plus my own homeschool co-op, plus the podcast, plus I'm working on a project that I've worked on in the past that I've let go. And so I am starting to revive that so I can get it out and not be dropping stuff. Plus taking care of the house. Plus I have a Buster's birthday's coming up. Little pup's going to be 1 year old. Yes, I'm actually throwing a party for him at the daycare. I talked to the party planner today. Yes, the facility has a party planner for the dog's birthdays. So Buster's party is set and it's going to be off the chain. But Peter also has the birthday. And we're going to go a little more low key this year, simply because he's asked for a lot of expensive stuff. He wants his bedroom redone to a big boy room. And we've been talking about that and throwing that around, Mr. Sith and I, for a while, and bringing it up to him. But that got delayed because Grandma and Grandpa are here and I need to put stuff in. They have stuff in his room, like a fish tank. Don't. I'm just going to leave it at that. So we can't do stuff in his room right now because there's fish in there and my house is maxed out right now with no available space whatsoever. So I've decided that we just need to start cleaning stuff out and just purging. So that's what I'm doing. And I really think that that will help my stress, my anxiety levels, and it will also kind of, cleanse your life, cleanse your heart, that kind of thing, So pretty much, anybody can have a recent example or be living an example of stress or anxiety. It's pretty much life occasions, right? Life just gives you the occasions of stress and anxiety. And, when your nerves and your stress get the better of you, it can really take a toll on you. It takes a toll on me, guys, and it's really hard. And, it might be just even the stress of managing your workload, daily workload, like I have. I mean, it's just like everyday stuff. And I'm finding that I'm overwhelmed by it. And it's because I have all these extra things like the parentals and, we're looking at the possibility of moving out of state because I just cannot stand the state anymore. Illinois is like the worst state to live in. And I know there's probably like 4 more that are worse than us, but I just can't here anymore. So that's a huge decision to make. And so we've got all these things going on at once. And that happens, right? And usually I find that things that come in big waves like this means that there's this something big waiting at the end of it. That's a positive. And I really feel that way because I trust that God has a path and this is all predetermined and I'm just going with it. Because if I'm this stressed and I've decided I'm letting go, could you imagine how stressed I would be if I was holding on to it and I didn't just like give it to God? Seriously, I would be insane right now. But, money worries, just stressed out when you read or you hear distressing news from other people. Oh, that was another thing that happened most recently. A lot of you, know who listen that Peter lost his godmother and my childhood friend on Christmas Eve last year. It was a sudden thing. It was unexpected. And, it is what it is, but there's still for me so many unanswered questions and so many whys and, that kind of thing. And I'm really not over it yet. And neither is Pete, because he will spontaneously, if something reminds him of her, will burst into tears and start crying and be like, I really miss Aunt Nikki, but I know she's watching down on me from heaven. Well, unfortunately, his godfather has just gotten into a motorcycle accident. And I'm just asking for prayers because I didn't even tell Peter at this point, but there's a little something. I'm not going to mention anything. I just know that he is improving. They're saying that there's going to be improvement. He has pneumonia, so they also have him on a ventilator to help assist in his breathing. He's got a ton of broken ribs, and it'll help assist him in breathing the ventilator so he can heal properly. But his lab work looks good, and he is communicating non-verbally. So send him some prayers in your daily prayer time. And I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you. But, so what exactly is anxiety? So a lot of people don't even realize this. Like when you're stressed and anxious, and it took me a while to actually narrow this down, because normally I just kind of summed it up to I was having a possible rage episode come. For those of you who don't know, I'm not saying that to be funny. I actually was diagnosed with rage episodes. So I had postpartum rage rather than depression. It's a thing when you have OCD. So feelings of anxiety are usually like rapid heartbeat, shortness of breath, sweating, lightheadedness, it's pretty normal that those are your symptoms. Now, in some people's cases, like myself, that could also be postmenopausal symptoms. I've never had postmenopausal symptoms, and these are all new. Some of these things that are happening to me outside of the not sleeping, that's pretty common for me. So I'm chucking this up to just feelings of anxiety and stress that I am not managing properly. And I got to get rid of that because I can't stand being in pain like this all the time. But, fortunately, for me, I've been practicing, and you can with a little practice. You can what I'm trying to do is turn that nervous energy, right, into a positive concentration. And that is what the technique called centering does. Okay, so it legit is a thing. So turning negative nervous energy into positive concentration. That is what centering is, okay? And centering, like I said earlier, I can't meditate, but centering is an ancient visualization technique, okay? It's super popular in Aikido. I think I said that right. It's Aikido, Aikido. So it's a Japanese, martial art of they call it like spiritual harmony. I used to follow it all the time, and I'm too fat to do any of it now. So I'm actually starting to do Tai Chi in small increments until I can work up. Like when I say small, guys, my body is in so much pain and inflammation. 5 minutes of Tai Chi, like are throwing me over the edge, but I'm going to stick with it because I know I can reach past this and get to something. And so I want to share what I've been doing and what it could do for you. So, this centering, right? It teaches you to focus on today, right? The here and now, right? Taking power away from like concerns, negative thoughts, and helps you like remain centered, duh, and basically stable, like stable and grounded, right? Grounded. That's a good word, right? And it will help the energy around your body and bring it to a center versus being all over the place, right? Because energy in your body gets lost when you're tense or stressed, right? Centering redirects that negative energy, but in a good way. So for me, like, I mean, I guess you can. I'm trying to think of how I could describe it to you guys more. Think back to a time like when you were like super stressed or afraid, right? What the physical reactions are that you normally experience. Like, you know, I get the tense muscles, rapid breathing, sweaty palms. I get racing heart. Like the racing heart thing is like really weird, but they're all common reactions to stressful situations. Okay. So now imagine that all those feelings are the result of this energy flowing through your body. And our body is electricity, right? And electricity is energy. Okay. We have positive and negative energies flowing in our body. That's science, right? Centering will use your mind to redirect the energy to the center of your body that in turn ultimately is supposed to give you a sense of inner calm. Okay. And I don't know about you, but I can take all the inner calm I can get, like legit. And it's been super useful. I started it about 7 days ago. So this is about a week that I've been doing it. And I've been using it to improve like focus, manage stress before just literally going downstairs or before I'm starting class or before, literally mostly before I get ready in the morning. I've been trying to keep a distance and which is also stressful. I'm like, God, now that I'm talking it and I say it out loud, what I was going to say was I try to keep speech to a minimum with them because we're not agreeing on anything or everybody's worried about what tone everybody's in. So everybody's walking on eggshells and like ready to snap at each other. Everybody's a bunch of snapping turtles, including myself. So we've all just decided we're not going to speak at all, but at a minimum, which now that I say it out loud is pretty damn stressful. Like what were we thinking? But at least I can identify that, right? But, centering is useful in common situations. So the more common the situation, right? So over like things that people go through every day, making a speech, I don't know, like delivering bad news, nerves, that kind of stuff. So you can communicate, effectively, which is what I probably need to do now. Those are the things that centering helps. And so I have found that this has been actually quite useful. I'm like shocked at how useful it's been. I mean, I'm not shocked, but for me, I either quit it because I'm like, this didn't work instantaneously, Denise, stop doing it. But I'm really trying to stick with this because to me, it's easy to do this. Okay. These little tips that I'm going to give you, we're actually going to take a quick, sponsor break and then we come back and run through the tips. And I just found that they were super easy. Do you know what I mean? So for me, this is something that you don't have to give up because it was too strenuous or it hurt me or whatever. It's just a visualization and a relaxation technique. And I found that it's really bringing me down. Like it's like not bringing me down depressed, but it's really centering me. There you go. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Today's episode of Finding Calm in the Chaos is sponsored by SJE Real Estate. SJE Real Estate specializes in purchase of distressed properties. Think as is homes, hoarder houses, unwanted inheritance properties, brick and mortar real estate that needs some TLC. SJE Real Estate specializes in the great state of Texas and is woman-owned. A lot of people are enduring some very tough times right now, and SJE Real Estate helps relieve some of the overwhelming pressure for those who are in the process of pre-foreclosure and even those who are struggling to keep up with property taxes. Because SJE Real Estate is family owned, you aren't just another property, you're a person. If you're not sure if SJE Real Estate can help you, all consultations are free and will discreetly discuss your specific situation to come up with a solution to help you. SJE Real Estate is professional and knowledgeable and helps you through the process, facilitating quick closings and getting you paid quickly as possible. As an extra comfort, SJE will not only supply you with all your moving boxes, but if you're willing to move within 50 miles from your old house to your new house, they'll help you move. I personally know the owner of SJE and know the care and pride she puts into her business. Contact SJE Real Estate today at 1-817-668-5857 and tell them you heard their promotion on this podcast. Again, that's SJE Real Estate at 1-817-668-5857. Hey, hey, hey. That was our wonderful sponsor. I appreciate all my sponsors. Without you, it is very hard to do this podcast every month, every week. So, we are talking about centering, okay? So it's an ancient Japanese art of grounding yourself and helping focus on removing stress and anxiety so that your body remains healthy. Because the more stress and anxiety, the more dis-ease your body will go through. And if you already have any kind of underlying medical condition, and no matter what it is, I mean, I have like all the lupus and all the big guys, but even if you're diabetic or you have high blood pressure or you have high cholesterol or you had thyroid issues or allergies, name anything, okay? Not being centered and having all this energy and stress, this negative energy and stress take over your body is only exacerbating the disease in the body. And it's just going to make everything worse. And so I am trying to feed my body better. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But I also want to feed it something good spiritually and grounding myself as well. So it's really easy. I am actually going to read a little section that helped with describing some of these steps. So step 1 is obviously focusing on your breathing. Again, this is hard for me because I found that I'm not breathing properly. Like, I'm a horrible breather. I cannot yoga breathe. I can't do any of that. And concentrating on breathing deeply, right? Using my diaphragm to draw air in all the way, like down into the lungs, is freaking difficult, okay? Not easy. So I'm going to read this tip that I got from a Japanese centering, and I didn't copy the thing down. So, I mean, I'm actually telling you I'm reading it, so I won't get sued. So this was off a website for Tai Chi, and it was for focus on breathing, okay? Diaphragm breathing. Diaphragm breathing. Good Lord. Okay. Diaphragm. I did it again. Diaphragm. That word ain't mine. Anyway, breathing deep. If you're not familiar with deep breathing, try this exercise, it says. Lie on the floor or somewhere comfortable but supported. Place one hand on your stomach and take a deep breath through your nose. In through your nose. Use the air you breathe in to push against your hand. So you'll feel the diaphragm raising. Your chest and shoulders should move, only your stomach. Exhale slowly and deliberately through your mouth. Spend a while completely focusing on your breathing. The while, I'm not quoting anymore. The while is pretty much whatever time you have. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is how bad a shape I'm in right now. Lie on the floor or somewhere comfortable but supported. Do you know where that is for me? My fucking mattress. Okay? Because I can't, sorry. Again, my sponsor said it was okay if an F-bomb fell out, and it just fell. Okay, because I can't get on the floor. Couple reasons why. Number one, I swear to God, I have a coccyx injury from a long time ago. And so like right above my booty crack is a big swollen puff. It looks like a donut. And it's always been like that. And if I lie flat on it, it causes me pain. That's number one. Number two, in the event I can get on the floor and I support something underneath that swollen coccyx, okay, tailbone, whatever you want to call it. It's really not the tailbone. It is the coccyx. But if I get down on the floor and I support it with something cushy, let's say, like a blanket or a towel, I can't get back up. Like, I struggle to get back up right now. I cannot get on my knees. My knees are shot, and my feet, no bueno after the surgery, which, by the way, is a year this week. I've had my surgery a year ago this week, and not just one foot is bad. The foot I got fixed is worse than it's ever been, and now the other foot hurts from the good foot hurts is also shitty now because it had to take the brunt from the one that I fixed that was shittier. I'm telling you, like, I have no faith in any kind of medical profession anymore. So what does focusing on deep breathing do, right? So this breathing, okay, it's a mindful release of tension in your body, okay? And I really do feel the difference, guys. Continue to breathe slowly, right? And deeply. And I scan the body for like feelings of tension. Like I start at my toes, okay? And I work my way up the body. And I literally just pay attention to like each group of muscles as I come up, right? My calf. I'm coming up my calf. I'm going up the inner side. You know, sometimes I follow because I have lupus, I'll follow my lymph system up, right? And then just relax any muscles or areas that you're feeling tense, right? Because you're clenching them, and just release them as you're going through that like mindful release of tension while you're doing this breathing exercise, right? Sometimes I do the breathing exercise first because I can't focus. I'm not going to lie, because I literally can't do two things at once. But I'll do like the diaphragm breathing first, get it under some sort of control, and then do the mindful release of tension, starting at my toes and then working all the way up to the top of my head. You can almost feel it like fall off. It's been a huge help. Like, I can't even tell you how much. And it's so easy. And you can do it in like, for me, I do like 10 minutes in the morning. All right. So step one was focusing on your breathing. Step two, we're finding the center, right? We're finding the center, right? Because where's the center? Okay. You find the center, right? You remember what it feels like. You'll probably find that you feel grounded and stabilized by focusing your mind on the part of your body that is your center, okay? So for me, my center is my diaphragm, okay? I've had surgery, so like it's all been all over the place, right? My insides are all messed up. But I found that like my center truly is my diaphragm, and I try to focus everything to that point and then just kind of imagine and visualize that it's just this light and airy, and just that I've just kind of, it's almost like I've made it like a button that's holding everything together rather than having it flapping all over the place and everything's going willy-nilly, right? It's hard to explain, but when I start to feel stress, I turn my attention now to the center, and I remind myself that from doing those exercises, right, that I have balance and control. And once I find it, okay, I'll be like, okay, I breathe in, I breathe out at least 5 times. I do like 25. That's like my magic number. 25 works for me. 10 might work for you. 5 might work for you. I got to go to 25. And I'll continue to concentrate on the center and feeling the sensation of being stabilized and on the ground, like when I'm laying on the bed. But while I'm standing up or in the car, or wherever I'm doing at the time. I'm not zoning out in the car, guys. My eyes are not closed. But sometimes, like, I'm over the edge. And so I'm in the car going from point A to B. And so before I get to B, because A already stressed me out, I want to be centered by the time I get to B. You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. Okay? So that's what I'm doing. So find your center. So you get breathing, deep breathing, find your center. Number 3 is redirecting the energy. Okay. So finally, we're going to channel our energy into achieving the goal. Okay. Which is to be stress-free, reduce anxiety. I don't know. I feel like I'm never going to be stress-free, but I am going to be able to manage it and not worry about it every second of the day. That's what I want. That's what I want to manage. But I imagine all the energy in the body flowing to the center, right? So we already know our body's energy. Now we're going to manage just all flowing to the center, right? There's lots of imagery that's out there, like on YouTube and stuff. I personally just imagine it as like light with like the typical meditation music. I always feel like it's a glowing light, like God would look, or I feel like God would emanate, I guess I should say. It just works for me, right? You can picture it as a glowing ball. You can make it a balloon. You can make it a roller skate. I don't really care, right? Just visualize putting all of your negative thoughts into whatever you make that energy, and then you release it. And as you inhale, right, this is what I've been saying. Okay, so I go in and think to myself, right? I've been saying it in the car, but when I'm by myself, you breathe in and you say, I let, and then as you exhale, go, right? So inhale is I let, exhale is go. Because if you picture your energy is like a ball, so I picture this emanating ball light, right? I imagine throwing it like out, that it literally just like pops out of my center and it just gets, I don't care where it is, as long as it's not near me. If you picture, I guess if you have a balloon, I don't know, my friend was like, I do a balloon, and she imagines it floating away. Not making fun of you. I know she listens. But a balloon works for her, right? So she imagines it like floating away, right? Let go of everything that's causing you to feel stressed in that moment and imagine your center being filled with calm. That sounds hokey, but I'm telling you, it freaking works. It's ridiculous. If you really put your mind to it. So when you keep breathing, right? Think about what you want to achieve. So I let go. I let go, visualize, right, whatever your energy is into your center, get rid of, as you're saying go, picture that bad energy coming out, right, if the bad energy is going out, you're letting go, right, because now you're going to fill that center with calm. And when you inhale again, you think about what you want to achieve, right, once you've let go for a little bit, it's all gone, you're getting ready to wrap it up. Focus about what you want to achieve. Focus on thinking positively. Whatever it is you want, right? For me, I tell this is, I say, what was I saying the other day? I kept repeating over and over that as I let go, when I took in the calm, I put, God has my path predetermined. God has my path predetermined. So this way I figured, like, it's not me. Why am I worrying about something that's predetermined? You know what I'm saying? You can even report like maybe you're like not feeling confident, just say confidence. Confidence. That's what you're bringing. Whatever you want to bring to you, your calm, success. I don't know. You want to give a great presentation. You're looking for a job. Job's mine. Pick something. Whatever, it's going to work. Okay. But using centering, I find that you have to kind of go in confidently. All right. It takes some practice. I felt super hokey for like the first 4 days, but then I realized it was actually kind of working for me. And so I'm like, well, it's not so hokey because it's working. It made me a lot more confident. Right. But it's useful to start learning how to use it long before you actually super need it. Right? So I'm going to actually sit down and start, once I get this under control, I've decided I'm going to start teaching Peter how to do this. Because as a child, what a great tool this is going into high school or going into college or or whatever he chooses, right? Or going into the workforce or in the world, period. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. And we all do. But I figured if I'm using this technique during situations that are causing me stress on a smaller scale, what can happen when you need it on a larger scale? You're able to manage at a much better pace, you know? And I mean, I don't know I'm ever going to master this. There are people who are like masters at centering, right? They've mastered it, right? But I want to be able to use it anytime when I'm stressed, or for me, like when things are just out of control. And it will ultimately, I feel, teach me to trust my instincts when I'm faced in crappy situations. And I mean, you can't go wrong with that, you know? So what I've decided is that, you know, centering is a technique that, I mean, it's practiced widely, okay, in Japanese Aikido, but there are other people like in sports and performing arts that use it as well. I was looking up to see like a lot of actors use this, but it's honestly, I mean, you can't get any easier as this. Centering, 1, 2, 3. That's all you need to remember. Focus on your breathing, find your center, redirect your energy, right? I can't talk today, man. Focus on your breathing, find your center, redirect your energy, right? And then, well, hey, what's the thing? I'd rather try to like take control of my stress than rather have stress take control of me. And right now, I noticed it was taking control of me. So I'm doing whatever it takes. As long as you're trying things and moving in the right direction, you're doing what you can. Never say you're doing the best you can, because you know, guys know how I feel about that. I'm not doing the best I can, because here I wasn't managing at all. And then I found I'm looking outside of the box now, right? I'm looking into the centering. I'm looking into Tai Chi. I'm looking into different things so that I can try to manage. Which I was talking about diet earlier. So I was going to change my diet and do all of this stuff, and then the parentals moved in. And in all honesty, I'm going to be like straight up with you guys. That went straight out the fucking window. They eat like shit, and it's all over my house, and there's no way that I can make like a raw fucking macro plate and eat in front of them. It's just not going to happen. So I'm studying, the program that I wanted is super expensive, and I just found out that they have a freaking cookbook. So I'm actually going to try it and just order their supplements and shakes. It's so much cheaper. We're talking like it's 80% cheaper. So I'm like, hey, what? And all I need is 30 to 40. I think there's like 40, I don't know, 80 recipes or something in it. I don't know. But I only need like 2 months of people telling me what I should cook before I can just be inspired and do my own stuff. So I'm like all in. So and Mr. Sit said he's on board with me. So we're making some big changes. And then when the parentals come out, we're going to be heading into the holidays, and hopefully by next year, feeling better about ourselves. Because, you know, when you start eating crappy, guys, you feel crappy. It's so correlated. That's a whole nother episode. But that's all I got with you today. So find your center and always lead with kindness.